So let's walk through these 4 signs, these 4 ways that you can know, that you can be aware you're saving for the future. Let's dive right into the first one, Brian. And this one, again, none of these sound bad necessarily, but there's some darkness to them. The first one is you're only living for the future.
Yeah, this is a big one because I want you to enjoy every season of life. This is one of the things I talk about in my book, Millionaire Mission, is that every decade is going to have a sweetness. Every decade is going to have obstacles. I just don't want you to miss it because I think that sometimes when we're good with money and we're saving money, there is a tendency that you think, well, I've got to get to this point because when I get to $1 million or $3 million, whatever your number is, you think this is going to solve all your problems. I'm like, whoa, slow down. Make sure you don't miss life.
Yeah, you're hitting the very first problem is that you're putting off important memories. You're not doing things that you otherwise could be doing, and you are losing time, unfortunately, that you will never be able to give back. If you're only thinking about the future, thinking about far off, there are amazing things that you could be doing right now to create memories. But the good news is, they don't have to be expensive. They don't have to cost you money necessarily, but they are going to require some effort and some time to put into them.
Nothing wrong with bedazzling your basic life. Go create those memories. Do a road trip. Do some do-it-yourself projects if you want to have something a little bit nicer. Just don't skip it altogether and live this miserly life.
Another problem with only living for the future, thinking into the future, becomes a little bit more qualitative or quantitative in that you find yourself that you're retirement rich. Because I've thought so much about retirement that I've been doing IRAs and I've been doing 401ks and I've been doing deferred comp and I've been doing all of these things. And so my future self will have a lot of resources, but the problem is my current self does not have access to resources, or myself 5 years or 10 years from now does not have access to resources. It may be something that you want to rethink.
Yeah, if you're getting to the stage where you have big retirement accounts, but you can't pay cash for your next car, you definitely might be retirement rich.
Yep.
Or if you're one of those people that you start seeing water damage in your house, but you're so focused, you're like, well, I'll just push this off a little bit longer. There are things in your life, don't miss out on the moments. You actually need to have some taxable money. You need to spend some money on maintenance for your house and your life. Don't skip these things. And also, make good decisions with your health. This is the other thing I think a lot of times, I'll work extra hours. I'll make a little bit extra money. Don't put off things to the detriment of yourself.
So if the problem is only living for the future, what are some of the solutions? Well, the first is know what's important to you. There are things that very well today might be important to you that are counterintuitive to your future plans, like buying a home, starting a family, having kids. Those are all things that might make retirement a little bit further away, that might make the number you have to reach for financial independence a little bit higher, and yet they are still worthwhile. They're still things that may make sense to pursue. So make sure you understand your why and what's important to you.
Yeah, and then we talked about you need to experiment. And what I think about when we talk about experimenting, this is why in the financial order of operations, if you go to moneyguy.com/resources, step 7, hyperaccumulation, is helping you begin with the end in mind. Think about how you're actually going to use the 3 different account structures. You got tax deferred, tax-free accounts like your Roth accounts, and then you've got your after-tax or taxable brokerage accounts. All those things are going to help you fulfill your financial goals. Don't skip the step of actually knowing how you're going to use those accounts and what it's going to look like in the future.